Hello, my name is Dr. Alan Carey. Welcome to another podcast from the South Essex GP Training website. With me I have Dr. Sunil Gupta, and we're going to discuss today the topic of time management. So Sunil, what does Stephen Covey say about time management?
So for effective time management, Stephen Covey advised that we should organise and execute around priorities. So I want you to imagine a 2x2 table. On the top left are activities which are urgent and important, which are quadrant 1 activities, things like crises, deadlines, emergencies, child crying. On the top right quadrant are activities which are not urgent but are important, things like planning, prevention, relationship building, personal development, regular exercise. Bottom left are activities which are urgent but not important. So that quadrant is to do with things like some interruptions, some mails, some phone calls. And bottom right are quadrant 4 is activities which are not urgent and not important, which includes things like excessive television, time wasting activities and some phone calls. So quadrant 1 represents things which are both urgent and important, and this can be called firefighting, and these activities need to be dealt with immediately and they're important. Quadrant 2 represents things which are important but not urgent. The activities contribute to achieving our goals and priorities, but they do not have to be done right now. Quadrant 3 activities are distractions. They must be dealt with right now, but they're not important. For example, when you answer an unwanted phone call, you have to interrupt whatever you were doing to answer it. And the final quadrant, like I said, quadrant 4 is activities which are neither urgent nor important. And the insight of Stephen Covey is he emphasised the importance of maximising the amount of time we spent in quadrant 2 activities, doing things which are not urgent but are important, and trying to allocate time in your diary to carry out these tasks when you're at your best. Because by concentrating on activities which are urgent but not important, the firefighting quadrant 1 activities will decrease in number. And we should also seek to reduce time spent in quadrant 3 activities by improving our systems and processes for dealing with distractions, and ideally we should try to eliminate as much as possible of quadrant 4 activities. But what several people's lives are is doing a whole lot of work activity in urgent and important, so going in crisis mode, firefighting mode, and then get so burnt up by that they resort to going to quadrant 4 just to recover in terms of watching excessive television or not doing anything constructive. But it's trying to shift from that form of behaviour to concentrate on things which are quadrant 2 activities, which are not urgent but important.
Thank you. Have you got any other tips on how we can improve our time management?
There's a few other tips which might be helpful. Plan and use a weekly to-do list rather than a daily to-do list. To focus your time on what is truly important, that is in line with your goals, you need to write down what you're trying to achieve across the key roles and different parts of your life. Put personal items and work items on the same calendar. Clean up clutter. Look for ways to use commuting time for doing something constructive. Delegate as often as you can. Concern yourself with doing the right things, i.e. effectiveness, rather than doing things right, i.e. efficiency. Try to minimise unhelpful interruptions. Meetings and emails can waste a lot of time, and there's other podcasts about how we can have more effective meetings and make more effective use of emails. We need to pick our priorities very carefully, avoid procrastination, and the other point to make is things which are scheduled are more likely to happen.
Thank you. So in summary, you're saying we should try to increase the amount of time we spend doing activities which are important but not necessarily urgent. And we should try to organise and execute around our priorities. Both Sunil and I would like to thank you for listening, and we hope you'll listen to some of the other podcasts from the South Essex GP Training website.